Hello, I'm here on the sunset of this day 13 Aq'ab'al. There seems to be some celebrations going on, so there may be some noises coming in from over there. And I'm here to talk with you about the Trecena of Imox. Now, I was thinking about it as I was thinking about how I would speak today or what I would speak about. And it struck me that today is 13 Aq'ab'al. 13 Aq'ab'al falls 40 days after 12 Aq'ab'al, and on the day 12 Aq'ab'al, that was when I was on top of the El Tigre pyramid, El Mirador, watching Venus rise as the morning star after, its period as the evening star. So it's been 40 days since then. It hardly seems possible that it's that long ago that I was up on the top of that temple. And I hope that in the next 40 days I will have finished compiling all the footage and photos from that journey into a video to show you what it's like to walk around there. So I'm hoping to get my video out to you by the day Hun Aq'ab'al, which will be in 40 days' time. And on that day Hun Aq'ab'al, I'll also be making an announcement regarding the journey next year. So stay tuned for those ones. So we're moving into the Trecena of Imox, the new dream, the beginning of the new dream. And I thought I'd come down to the lake because hopefully it would be, some kind of sunset. But here we are. Look at what we've got. It's this kind of like misty, foggy, kind of murky. We're not sure really what's going on out there. It's kind of like, I was thinking about how, kind of like Imox representing the primordial waters, and this being kind of like this, we're not sure, this misty kind of like I say, we're not sure what's out there. And in some ways, this fits in rather nicely with this idea of, one Imox, the new dream, and we're not sure what's going to come in yet. There's no definition to it. It's just the seed of a new dream, the beginning of something new. We don't know what it's going to turn out as. We don't know, if we jumped in a boat and went over there, we kind of got an idea of what's over there. And certainly if you've watched videos from this vantage point, which I've used a few times before, then you'll know what's over there. But at the same time, kind of like this is something where there's an uncertainty there. Stepping into a new dream is always going to be like that. Maybe we want to get some information, maybe we want to get some advice about which direction to take. Maybe we want to try and get some clarity about which way we're going to point our boat in the first place to sail off into wherever we might find over there. So one Imox is the potential for a new dream. It's just the first hint that something new might be coming, the first hint of something new that you want to develop. And so, kind of like stay alert for signals that might come in to help you to navigate where you're going to take that new dream, what to bring in. And perhaps spending some time by the water might help you to define that. From one Imox, we're then going to move into two Aq'ab'al. So Aq'ab'al, the Nawal of the wind, the Nawal of the breath, the Nawal of communication. And here, with the number 2, we know that Aq'ab'al can be rather powerful in its communication anyway. And here, when we combine it with the number 2, we're combining it with a number which very much represents duality. It's a 1 or a 0. It's a left or a right, up or down. And so, as such, this might be very clear-cut communication. It's a yes or it's a no. And maybe that has a relevance with regards to how you're going to bring your dream in. Particularly if you're talking with people, they might say, that's the way forward, that's a dead end. It might be very polarized like that. There's no kind of like, let's say, there's no maybe in the middle. There's, you could try it like that. It's like, nope, good way, dead end. Okay? So, kind of like with that, it's also about choosing those words. Because, kind of like, I like to say, kind of like it's like seeing things in high contrast, very clearly defined as to what you're going to breathe in and what you're not going to breathe in. What will, kind of like bring you the breath of life and what it might not be worth spending your breath on. From 2 we're then going to move into 3 Aq'ab'al. So Aq'ab'al, the twilight, the dawn and the dusk. And here with the number 3, the inner world. Now, the number 3 I often see as these days for retreat, these days to stay home, these days to, really go to that inside world. And here with the Nawal Aq'ab'al, it's about the new concept. So it's like kind of like going inside to find the new concept. Maybe again, this is looking for definition in the new dream that you want to bring in. It's like, right, okay, you got to take some time to go within and look at it like, what do you want to shed light on? Maybe something's hidden in the darkness. Maybe something is hidden within that needs to come out through that new dream. Perhaps that's the place where we might find that new concept to bring in. So, like I say, those 3 days I always say is, good days to spend at home, good days to spend in reflection. And here contemplating how you might turn this new dream, how you can bring it into a concept that you can then bring out into the world, how you can shed light on it. From 3 Aq'ab'al we then move into 4 Cat. So, again, if we're addressing the new dream, what material needs might you have in this new dream? And what materials might you be carrying that you don't need to? What material attachment might you be carrying that actually you really don't need to hang on to anymore? Cat days are always good days for decluttering. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, it doesn't matter. All of the above. What are you carrying in your net bag? Because the net bag is where all of our, everything that sustains us, everything that supports us comes from. But it can also be that which holds us back. It can be that burden that we don't need to carry anymore. So 4 Cat is a fantastic day for going through your closets and for going through kind of like whatever else you have around you, because it's very much on the physical plane of existence, and it's saying, right, okay, what are you ready to let go of? What do you need to hold on to for your new dream? What do you need to kind of like stabilize for your new dream? What brings you stability and support? What is the good foundation? And what is it time to let go of to allow that new dream to come in? Now, as I said, very much associated with the physical world on that day, 4 Cat. From 4 Cat, we then move to 5 Can. So Can representing the serpent, representing power and wisdom. Can represent our teachers that share their wisdom in order to empower us. And here we see it with the number 5, representing work, representing the hand, and representing putting our energy into it. So it's like putting our energy into sharing our wisdom is a great thing to be doing on 5 Can. But it's also, kind of like if we think about Can representing power and understanding where we're directing our power, and the number 5 representing paying attention, putting our energy into something. It's like putting our energy, putting our attention into where we are directing our power. It could be about focusing on using our wisdom to bring in this new dream. It could be about, kind of like really taking that moment to understand how to work with the wisdom that we have, how to work with the energy that we have in order to bring the new dream in. Now, I see kind of like, sometimes I see the 5 as like the, kind of like the spark of life that comes in, the spark of energy that comes in. And here it's, kind of like putting that spark of energy into our work. Because that's, kind of like our focus. That's where we, kind of like we want to focus all of that power, that energy, that wisdom that we have into the work that we're doing. Because that's what we're going to bring our new dream into the world with. From 5 Can, we're then moving into 6 Kame. So Kame representing the ancestors, Kame representing the dead, also representing our fears. Representing overcoming them. Moving to the next level, and as we move into those new dreams, of course there's going to be some fears associated with that. I mean, if there wasn't, it probably wouldn't be much of a dream because it would be easily achievable. Kind of like most things that are, kind of like of any value are going to invoke like some trepidation within us or something like that. But here we have it with the number 6, and the number 6 representing the family, representing ultimate stability, the connection between the heart of the sky, the heart of the earth, and the physical plane of existence. And so here we see the ability to draw on above and below in order to overcome fears in the physical world. It's like really, looking at things and saying, yes, but what other resources do I have? Not just the resources around me that can help me to overcome the fears, but the resources that I can draw on from Father Sky and Mother Earth. And so we can see that on that day 6 Kame. Now, if we see 6 as representing the family, we can also understand that 6 Kame may represent fears of the family, or fears, from the family and that kind of thing. Maybe they are kind of like, what's the family going to say? Maybe they're fears that kind of like are things which have been deep set within our family unit for a while. And here, with that Kame, it gives us the understanding kind of like maybe it's time to look at them and say, are these fears ready for clearing? Or is it time to approach these, to get over them so that we can allow the new dream to come in? From 6 Kame, we then move into 7 Kech. So Kech, the Nawal of the wilderness, Kech, the Nawal of the mountain place, the Nawal of the tree place. And here, connected with the number 7. The number 7 representing the top of the mountain, representing choices, representing decisions. Kech can represent our strength. It can represent our understanding that comes from the natural world. And here, when we combine it with the number 7, it also represents choices. And so maybe it's about going out into the natural world to understand our choices. I always will say that Kech days are days to get out into the world, into the wild. They're days to go and connect with the trees, connect with the mountains, connect with whatever wilderness you have around you. And the 7 days, the 7 days are where we're clearly shown our options. And so perhaps 7 Kech is a day to go and understand what options we have from your connection with the wilderness. Maybe this is where you'll receive the messages that can guide you in that new dream. It might also be helping us to understand how to take the decision. Because we're connecting with the wild, we're connecting with the wilderness, and we're receiving strength. We're receiving the messages that help to strengthen, help to define which way we're going. But then it's up to us to choose them. And so, kind of like maybe in your connection with the wild, take a walk or, go hiking, however it might be, go camping or whatever, to connect with the wilderness, to understand in which direction to be guided, to gain the strength that you need to bring in that new dream. From 7 Kech, we then move into Aq'ab'al. Aq'ab'al, a joyful, shiny day, I'd like to say. Anil representing the yellowing, representing the ripening. And here, kind of like the abundance that comes. Connecting with the number 8, the day of ceremony, the day of thanksgiving. And so Aq'ab'al would make an excellent ceremonial day to give thanks for all the abundance that you have. All the abundance that's come from your projects. Here we are on this day, 13 Aq'ab'al that I'm on right now, finishing the Anil Trecena. And then comes this day, 8 Anil, in the next Trecena, which gives us the ability to give thanks for all that's ripened. Gives us the ability to give thanks for all that we've received that allows us to bring that new dream into the world. 8 Anil is this wonderful day for saying thank you. It's also a wonderful day to help you to understand, kind of like what you're going to ripen next. It's a great day for asking for blessings on your projects or on your plans from the fire. And so for me, for sure, kind of like a ceremonial day to make our offerings. Like I say, to give thanks for what we've already received and give thanks for what we receive going forwards on our journey, in our dream, to help us to bring that to its full ripeness. From 8 Anil, we then move into 9 Toch. Toch, the Nawal of payment and offering. Toch, the Nawal of service. And here with the number 9, representing the feminine, representing independence and representing life. Okay? Now, some people will use the word debt with the Nawal Toch. And we could see if the number 9 is life, then it might be about paying off a life debt. Maybe that's what's needed on that day 9 Toch. Maybe it's kind of like balancing the books, as it were, in life, to make sure that whatever needs to be paid for gets paid. What's sustained your life so far? What's sustaining your life going forwards? Make sure that we make our offerings, that we, again, say thank you on that day 9 Toch, to ensure that we have our health. Because, when Toch comes, let's say, knocking, when Toch reminds us that we have a payment to make, it can sometimes manifest because we get sick with something, because it's an unpaid debt. And so again, in order to recover full health, this is an opportune day to make our payment for whatever we've received in life. From 9 Toch, we're then going to move into 10 Tz'i. So Tz'i, the Nawal of law. Tz'i, the Nawal of justice. Tz'i, the Nawal of faith and loyalty and unconditional love. And here we have it connected with the number 10, representing community. It's a day of community justice. It's a day to seek justice within your community. It's a day to ask for the laws of society to be applied in the correct way. So if there are legal matters ongoing within your community, this is an ideal day to be addressing them. It might be a great day to come together as a community, to stand up for law and order, to stand up for what is right. It's a good day to show your faith, to show your loyalty towards those in the community who seek justice. From 10 Tz'i, we then move into 11 Bats. So Bats, the Nawal of creativity, and the number 11, going around in all sorts of directions. It's very intuitive. The number 11 gives us this kind of like, okay, which way are we going to go next? I don't know. Let's try over there. Let's try over here. Let's see which way we go. And then when we combine it with Bats, the creativity, the weaving, bringing the beauty into the world. And, kind of like, it's really interesting to me because I often think about how the 11 can bring forwards novelty, how the 11 can bring forwards great creativity, because the 11 doesn't necessarily follow the rules. The 11 doesn't necessarily follow the pattern, because it's following its intuition, and it's taking turns that we might not normally take, because we're being shown them by our intuition, not by logic. And so when we combine it with Bats, we can see that this may well be something where we're looking at how can we combine this creativity in a novel way, following our intuition, rather than, let's say, it's colouring outside of the lines, isn't it? And that's how we get novelty. That's how we get, kind of like individuality in our creativity. Not by following the same pattern that everybody else has followed, but by following our creative impulse. And so 11 Bats may well bring that out very strongly. And so, follow whatever creative urges might come up on 11 Bats, because it may lead to, kind of like creation of something which is entirely novel. From 11 Bats, we then move to 12 So again, kind of like we're following this part of our dream, this new dream. And of course, this is going to involve taking some new roads. How are we going to find those roads with our life experience? And this is exactly what I could see 12 representing. our journey, our path, asking for our path to be cleared, asking for our path to be the smooth path, the clear path, the open path. And here with the number 12, what are we going to use to clear it? Past life experience. Okay, so all of the experiences that we've had through our lives, bringing them together to understand how to be guided on our path, how to bring that guidance in to take us forwards in that new dream. Certainly, as I say, when we look out at this kind of like misty world around us, the experience that guides us forwards on the path may be very valuable to us in this time. And then finally, we come to 13, Aq', the Nawal of house and home, the Nawal of the community, combined with the number 13, the number of the ancestors. So this is a very powerful day. I mean, all 13 days are pretty powerful, but here we have the Aq' representing the spinal column, Aq' representing the columns that hold everything in their rightful place, the structure of community, the structure of society. It represents the leaders of our countries. It represents leadership. And here we have it with the number 13 representing the ancestors, the number 13 representing spirit. So when we bring those two things together, I mean, we can see kind of like the ancestors maybe inspiring the leaders. Perhaps it's a time, to call upon the ancestors to help us to understand how to lead within our community, to call on the ancestors to understand how to lead within, kind of like our home, to bring us the strength. Because I often think about Aq', as the spinal column, and we need that strength in our spinal column to stand up for what is right. And here, that strengthening is coming through our connection to tradition. It's coming through our connection to the ancestors. It's coming through our connection to spirit. So it's to call on spirit to help us to lead, to help us to have the strength to stand up for what is right within our community in order to bring balance, peace and harmony into our home. So sometimes it is going to be outspoken. Sometimes it is going to, kind of like say what needs to be said in order to bring harmony. And, kind of like on this 13 Aq' day, then maybe it's actually even the voice of the ancestors that's speaking through us in order to bring harmony to our society. So I hope that was interesting to you. And I look forward to seeing you in 13 days' time for the Trecena of Imox. Thank you.